We'll now upload a portfolio file, a benchmark file, and a universe file. I first select a portfolio file. If I wish to add a new state, which is either a different sequence to the portfolio or a different date to the portfolio, I can select the portfolio that I wish to add to, and then I won't create a new portfolio. But let's start by creating a new portfolio. I can navigate to the file through the browse button, or I can go to my file browser, select the file, and drag and drop it here. When I drag and drop it, I get the message it's ready to upload, and the date has been read from the file. If I wish to upload a multi-date file, all I would do is I would check this box so that it doesn't just read the first date, and it knows multiple dates are contained in the file as per the template file for multi-date selection. So we'll uncheck this, and let's say I'm going to create a new portfolio. So I would select here, and I can call it new port or whatever name I wish to give it. I select the currency, and then I give it a state name. A state name means uh, a sequence. So for example, it could specify a strategy. But let's say you have only one. I could just call it, whatever. Let's say this is a portfolio based on dividend yield. I can call it uh, my dividend yield or whatever, right? And then we have to specify for a portfolio whether it's a real state or a virtual state, and which is why we have this concept of state, because this could be my real portfolio, but perhaps I can also add to the same date to the same portfolio an alternative state of the portfolio that I perhaps am evaluating. We'll be able to create these states in the system itself, but we can also upload them as an alternative state, and we want to compare that if I were to change my portfolio to this state, what would be the impact? So let's say I'm loading a real portfolio. I keep it as real, and then I hit add new state, and it's uploaded. I didn't get any error message. If the upload fails, you'll get an error message here. At this point, we ask our users to bear with us and just send us the upload file, and we'll de determine the cause of the rejection, and we will find a resolution for it. And we are working on a detailed messaging process that will give you the reasons why it has failed, whether there's a mismatch of identifiers or a missing price, and we will then also implement processes that will allow you to uh, give you resolution options at that point, whether to ignore that security or put it in cash or redistribute the weight. So we are working on that. And then the same process exists for the benchmark. You select a benchmark and you drag and drop a file. You give it a state name. So let's go through that process as well. So I navigate to my where I've got some benchmark files created. I add it, and I can say, okay, this is let's say IVV1, and I give it a state name, let's say market cap weighted, because it's a cap weighted index. The date has been read. I give it a currency and add new state, and we are done. And then the process follows for the universe as well, where you don't need to, as in the file, give a shares. You can just give a list of stocks, you can give a date, and you can give the and you can tell the identifier type, and that's it. That's the simple upload process. And as I said, you can even upload a multi-date file, and in fact we can go through it right now. Let's go to a portfolio. I go and select a multi-date file. I drop it here, and I just override this, and I would go to the same process and enter the new portfolio name, currency, and the state name. And that is the process to upload a portfolio, benchmark, and universe.